JJ Day Boss, usually known as the best in the game, has always surprised fans on Street Outlaws. From crazy arm drops to bold moves for money, he knows how to keep fans excited. Let's look at the 10 wildest tricks JJ ever pulled in a race. Number 10. Arm Drop Challenge at No Prep Grudge Race. JJ Da Boss knows how to keep a race interesting, but nothing was wilder than the day he decided to use his own arm as the signal to start a race. At a No Prep Grudge race in Memphis, JJ stepped forward, raised his arm high in the air, and let it drop, sending the racers flying down the track. This wasn't just about looking cool, it was a real mind game. Drivers were forced to focus on JJ's hand instead of the light tree, and it threw off their timing and confidence. By controlling the start, JJ set the energy, and his rivals couldn't predict exactly when he would drop his arm, adding tension in those precious seconds before launching. The track was rough, unprepared, and slick, making it difficult for drivers to find traction. Every driver had to be careful not to spin their tires, but with JJ's tricky arm drop start, many got jumpy and hit the gas too soon, losing control or getting a poor launch. JJ used this to his advantage, knowing that getting out ahead by even half a second on a no-prep track could be the difference between winning and losing. What made it even wilder was the environment. The crowd was loud, the engines were roaring, and the cars were shaking at the line. JJ, with a calm but focused look, controlled all that chaos with one simple arm drop. The racers' hearts raced, and even the fans held their breath, waiting for the drop. This arm drop wasn't just a trick, it was a statement of confidence and control. JJ proved that street racing isn't only about fast cars, it is also about mental strength and strategy. He showed that a well-timed arm drop could change the race before it even began, teaching everyone that sometimes the race is won before the tires even move. Now, if you think that was wild, wait until you hear about the time JJ took a corner so close to a bus that it looked like a movie scene. Number 9. Right lane by a bus maneuver. There was a race where JJ Da Boss did something so daring it made everyone gasp. During a heads-up street race, JJ found himself in a tight battle, and he had to make a choice: play it safe or take a big risk. JJ chose the risk. He drove so close to a parked bus on the side of the street that people thought he would hit it, but JJ controlled his car with sharp focus, using every inch of the lane to keep his speed up and not lose momentum. The parked bus created a narrow pathway, and any small mistake could have caused a crash. But JJ kept steady, keeping his foot on the gas while carefully steering around the bus with inches to spare. It was a moment of bravery and skill that showed how confident JJ was in his driving abilities. The crowd watching the race couldn't believe what they saw. Seeing JJ's car fly by the bus at high speed was like watching a scene from an action movie. It was loud, fast, and filled with tension, with everyone expecting a collision at any second. But JJ didn't slow down or hesitate, proving that street racing is about taking bold chances when it matters most. This maneuver showed that JJ was willing to take the tightest line if it meant getting ahead of his rival. On a street race where every second and every inch counts, this decision could be the reason for winning or losing. It wasn't about being reckless. It was about trusting his skills and pushing the limits of what was possible. This moment became one of the most talked about stunts in street racing, reminding everyone why JJ Da Boss is considered one of the most fearless drivers on the streets. His ability to stay calm while pushing his machine to its limit in such a risky situation proves why he stands out in the world of street outlaws. Now, let's take a look at the trick he did at a race that involved money. Number 8. Big Money $10,000 Inflamed Race. High-stakes races bring out the best in JJ Da Boss. And one of the wildest examples was when he entered a big tire race in Alabama with $10,000 on the line. This wasn't just any race. It was a no-prep event, meaning the track was raw, rough, and unpredictable. Every bump and crack could affect traction, making it easy for cars to lose control if drivers weren't careful. JJ understood that a race with $10,000 at stake was as much about mental strength as it was about the car's power. Before the race, he checked every detail of his car, ensuring the tires, engine, and nitrous systems were all ready for the rough track. He also watched other races to see where drivers struggled, giving him clues on how to handle the surface. When it was time for his race, JJ didn't hold back. As the lights dropped, he launched hard, carefully managing the throttle to avoid spinning out while still keeping high speed. His experience on no-prep surfaces showed as he controlled the car with smooth steering, keeping the vehicle straight even when it wanted to slide. The race was intense, with the sound of engines echoing through the track and fans screaming in the background. JJ's car roared down the track, pushing against the wind as he fought for every inch of lead. The high stakes added pressure, but JJ remained calm, focusing on the finish line and maintaining control until the end. Winning a $10,000 race on such a challenging track wasn't just about the money. It was about proving that JJ could handle pressure and deliver when it mattered most. His victory in Alabama became a reminder to everyone in the street racing community that JJ DeBoss was not only about showmanship, but also about results, skill, and determination. This race showed that JJ could keep his composure and strategy sharp even with a big prize on the line, demonstrating why he is respected in the world of street racing. Number 7. Epic trash talk and drama at race day meeting. The race hadn't even started, but the tension was already thick in the air. JJ DeBoss walked into the drivers' meeting with the energy of a man ready for war. He didn't come just to listen, he came to make it clear that he was there to race and win. With confidence in every step, he called out 5 drivers right there in front of everyone, telling them exactly who he wanted to race that night. This wasn't just casual talk. Each call-out was a challenge, and everyone in the room felt the seriousness of his words. The drivers' meeting, normally a place to review safety and rules, turned into a stage for JJ's mind games and showmanship. Calling out 5 people in one meeting was bold, and it created a storm of whispers and side conversations. People started questioning their strategies, checking their cars again, and wondering if they were ready to face JJ. His energy shifted the entire room, and it felt like the races had started before anyone even fired up their engines. JJ knew that racing isn't just about what happens on the street. It's also about what happens in the mind. By calling out multiple drivers, he put pressure on them while showing he was ready for anyone. The fans who heard about the meeting were excited, knowing that drama like this meant the races were going to be intense. Even before the engines roared and the tires smoked, JJ had already started his race, and it was clear he was there to dominate. His confidence made others nervous, and his challenges turned the drivers' meeting into a battlefield of nerves and pride. Everyone was left on edge, knowing that the races would now carry more tension, more emotion, and more hunger to win. If you thought the drama in the drivers' meeting was wild, wait until you see what happens when JJ takes on a $10,000 grudge race against Birdman on an unprepared raw track. Number 6. $10,000 grudge with Birdman on unprepped track. When 2 heavyweights like JJ DeBoss and Birdman line up for a race with $10,000 on the line, it becomes a moment that grabs everyone's attention. This wasn't just any race. It was a grudge match on a raw, unprepped surface, making it one of the riskiest types of races. The asphalt had no sticky prep to help the tires grip, which meant every launch was unpredictable and every second counted. JJ brought his full focus to this race, knowing that against Birdman, Any mistake could mean losing the race and a huge amount of money. Before the race, the air was filled with noise as people talked about who would win, and the sound of engines warming up added to the tension. The raw asphalt meant the cars could slide, spin, or lose traction, so controlling the launch was everything. JJ carefully adjusted his car to handle the unprepared surface, making sure the tires, engine, and nitrous systems were ready for the challenge. His strategy was to balance power with control, giving enough speed to get ahead, but not too much to lose grip. As they lined up, the crowd was silent, waiting for the cars to take off. The engines roared, and in a blink, the cars shot forward, tires fighting for grip on the cold, rough ground. The race was fast, loud, and filled with suspense as JJ and Birdman battled down the track. Both drivers pushed their cars to the limit, and the unpredictability of the track made every moment exciting. The crowd's cheers grew louder as the cars neared the finish line, with JJ keeping his focus on maintaining a straight path and clean power delivery. Racing on an unprepped track for $10,000 was not just about winning money, it was about proving skill, courage, and determination. JJ showed that he could handle high-pressure situations while keeping his cool and delivering a strong performance. This race reminded everyone why street racing is thrilling and why JJ Day-Boss remains a key name in the world of no-prep grudge racing. Now, let's dive into the wild event that happened on a day that was supposed to be normal. What happened at the ride-along experience? Let's find out. You won't believe it. Number 5. Insane ride-along experience. Most people think riding in a race car is fun and easy, but when you get into a car with JJ Day-Boss, you quickly learn that it's far from a normal ride. JJ offered a buddy a ride-along, letting him sit in the passenger seat as JJ showed what it felt like to race with full power. The interior of the car was tight, with little room to move, and once the engine roared, it felt like the car became a living creature ready to jump forward. JJ didn't hold back as he launched the car down the track, with the tires grabbing at the asphalt and the force pushing the passenger deep into the seat. The vibrations from the engine, the shaking of the car, and the sound of the roaring exhaust made the ride intense. Every bump on the road felt stronger, and the car's speed made everything around them blur as they moved forward. The ride-along wasn't just about speed. It was about showing how much control it takes to handle a powerful race car. JJ carefully steered the car, making sure it stayed in a straight line while managing the throttle to keep the tires from spinning too much. The passenger could feel every adjustment JJ made, realizing how much focus and skill it took to keep the car under control. The passenger's heart raced as the car moved faster and faster, with the scenery flashing by and the sound of the wind mixing with the engine's roar. It was a ride that made it clear why racing is not just a sport, but a lifestyle that requires bravery and sharp instincts. JJ's ride-along experience showed the reality of street racing from a passenger's view, giving a clear look into the intense, fast, and powerful world that JJ Day-Boss lives in every day. It was a reminder that street racing is thrilling, demanding, and unforgettable for anyone who steps into the passenger seat. But what happened at Ozark Raceway Park? You won't believe the tricks JJ Day-Boss pulled there. Number 4. No Prep Small Tire Class Destruction. JJ. The boss has always been known for taking on big challenges, but when he entered the small tire class at Ozark Raceway Park during a no-prep event, he showed why he is one of the most respected racers in street racing. Small tire racing is a different game. The tires are smaller, which means less surface to grip the track, making it harder to get a clean, fast launch. On a no-prep surface, this becomes even more difficult because the track has not been treated to help the tires stick, and every bump or rough patch can cause the car to lose control. At Ozark Raceway Park, JJ came prepared, knowing that managing traction and power would be the key to winning. His car was tuned carefully to balance the need for speed with the need for control, allowing him to push hard without spinning out. As he lined up against his rivals, the tension in the air was thick. Everyone wanted to see if JJ could handle the challenging track and dominate the small tire class. When the race began, JJ's car launched with power and precision. The small tires struggled to grip, but JJ's smooth handling kept the car straight, and he gained speed quickly, leaving his rivals behind. Each race showed his skill in adjusting his driving to match the surface and conditions, proving that experience and strategy are just as important as power. Throughout the event, JJ defeated one rival after another, making it clear that he was there to win. The no-prep surface made it easy for others to make mistakes, but JJ's focus and steady driving helped him avoid the slips and spins that cost others their races. Fans watching cheered each time he crossed the finish line ahead, showing how his style of racing inspires excitement and respect. JJ's performance at the Ozark Raceway Park Small Tire No Prep race was not just about winning. It was about showing that with the right mindset, skill, and preparation, even the toughest conditions can be conquered. His victory was a reminder to everyone that street racing is about more than fast cars. It is about knowing how to handle challenges and come out on top. Now, if you think JJ dominating small tire races was intense, just wait until you see how he handled a quick-fire, high-pressure $7,500 final against Todd. Number 3. Quick-fire $7,500 win versus Todd. In the world of street racing, every second counts, especially when there is a big prize on the line. JJ DeBoss faced Todd in a high-stakes, fast-paced final race with $7,500 up for grabs, and the tension was as thick as the smoke from the tires. This was not a casual run down the track. It was a final that required perfect timing, sharp focus, and quick decisions from start to finish. Both drivers were eager to win, and the atmosphere was loud with the sounds of engines revving and the crowd cheering in anticipation. JJ knew that this race would require him to push his car hard while also staying in complete control to avoid mistakes that could cost him the victory. Before the race, he carefully checked his car's setup, making sure the engine, nitrous, and tires were all ready to perform at their best. As the race began, JJ launched with power, managing the throttle with precision to prevent the tires from spinning too much on the unprepared surface. His car roared down the track, and the speed made the surroundings blur as he focused on the finish line. The pressure of racing for $7,500 added to the excitement, but JJ remained calm, controlling his car with smooth steering and confident handling. The race was close, but JJ managed to pull ahead, crossing the finish line first and securing the win. The victory was not just about the money. It was about proving that he could handle high-pressure situations while maintaining top performance. The fans celebrated his win, knowing they had witnessed a display of skill and control under real-time stakes. Winning against Todd in a quick-fire final showed that JJ DeBoss has the nerves and experience needed to succeed in the intense world of street racing. His ability to handle pressure, adjust his driving to match the track, and keep his car performing well made this race a perfect example of what makes street racing exciting. So, did you hear about the TikTok showdown that happened with Big Chief involved? Number 2. TikTok showdown for a steering wheel. In one of the most unique and talked about moments in JJ DeBoss's racing career, he faced Big Chief in a race that was not just about speed, but also about pride, style, and fun. This was no ordinary street race. It was a viral TikTok showdown where the prize was not money, but the steering wheels from their cars. Racing for a steering wheel might sound strange, but in the world of street racing, it became a symbol of skill and bragging rights. The race was filled with excitement as fans from around the world tuned in to watch it unfold. JJ and Big Chief Both well-known names in street racing brought their best to the track, knowing that this race was about more than just a win. It was about showing who had the better skills and control behind the wheel. The atmosphere was loud with cheers and the roar of engines as they prepared to race. The challenge of racing for such a unique prize added pressure, making every move on the track even more critical. As the race began, JJ launched his car down the track, managing the throttle carefully to keep the tires gripping the surface without losing control. The race was close, with both drivers pushing their cars to the limit. Every second felt intense as the cars sped forward, the crowd watching with excitement to see who would come out on top. JJ's focus and steady driving helped him handle the pressure, maintaining speed while keeping the car straight and stable. When JJ crossed the finish line first, the crowd erupted in cheers, and the victory became a moment of celebration not just for him, but for all his fans who followed the race online. Winning the TikTok showdown and claiming the steering wheel was a reminder of how street racing can be both competitive and entertaining. If you think this TikTok showdown was unforgettable, wait until you hear about the intense race where JJ took on Turbo John in a small tire battle that pushed both racers to their limits. Number 1. Demon vs. Turbo, John Throwdown. When JJ DeBoss lined up against Turbo John in a small tire class race at Coastal Plains, it was clear that this was going to be a battle that would test both drivers and their machines to the fullest. Small tire racing demands precision and skill, as the smaller tires provide less grip on the surface, making it easy to lose traction and control if the power is not managed correctly. This race was even more intense because it took place on race day, with both drivers testing and tuning in real time to get their cars ready. The preparation for the race was detailed and careful. JJ worked with his team to fine-tune the car's setup, making small adjustments to the suspension, tire pressure, and engine to match the track's condition. Turbo John, known for his strong performances, was also ready, making the matchup one that fans were eager to watch. As they prepared to race, the sound of the engines created a powerful background noise, mixing with the excitement of the crowd waiting to see which racer would take the win. When the race began, both cars launched with force, the small tires fighting for grip as they sped down the track. The cars moved fast, but the control needed to keep them steady was immense. JJ kept his focus, managing the throttle to prevent the tires from spinning out while maintaining speed to stay ahead. The race was close, with both drivers showing their skills as they pushed their cars to the limit. Every second was filled with tension as the cars raced toward the finish line. In the end, JJ's careful tuning and steady driving paid off, helping him secure the win against Turbo John in a race that was both challenging and thrilling. This victory was another reminder of JJ's skill and determination in the world of street racing, showing that even in high-risk races, he could stay calm and deliver a strong performance.